There are millions of ways to make millions of dollars. Maybe you're adventurous and are going to start a business, invent a better mousetrap, or strike it rich by mining for gold. This video isn't about any of those. It's about something a little bit more traditional: getting a job. Knuckling down and getting a job can lead you to the millions of dollars you've always dreamed about. But not all jobs are created equally. So let's take a look at those jobs that are actually likely to make you a million. As of 2020, the federal minimum wage in America is $7.25. This means that for those of you flipping burgers at a fast food place, it would take you over 66 years to earn $1 million if you worked full-time. That's 33 years if you worked 80 hours a week. It also assumes you didn't spend anything on living expenses. So, there are good jobs and bad jobs if your goal is earning millions of dollars. We've narrowed down the top prospects and came up with 50 jobs in 10 categories. There's healthcare, finance, entertainment, legal, software, engineering and design, sales, entrepreneurship, miscellaneous, investments. Let's start with healthcare. Healthcare. Glassdoor.com made a list of the highest salaries of every job they have on record. Healthcare jobs made up just about half of the list. Glassdoor listed professionals like a physician, pharmacy manager, dentist, pharmacist, physician's assistant, and nurse practitioner as some of the top-paying jobs of 2019. In fact, the top-paying job in America of all time is physician, with a median salary of almost $200K a year. Although, keep in mind that because this is a median number, 50% of all physicians are earning much more. Specialists especially make a fair amount of money. If you were to secure a job as a radiologist, cardiologist, or orthopedic surgeon, it wouldn't be out of the question for you to make $400K a year. That would make you a millionaire in just 3 years, even after living expenses. In general, we don't recommend this as a guaranteed payday. A single political action by a single new president may very well disrupt insurance and put an end to doctors earning so much. If you do go into healthcare, we suggest going into plastic surgery, cosmetic dentistry, and other medical fields focusing on things immune to insurance payments. Finance. Another way to hit $1 million in your bank account is by actually working at the bank itself. Any industry in the financial sector pays fairly decently, and it makes sense. You're essentially babysitting other people's money. Investment bankers routinely make over $200K a year. If this was your job, it would take you over 5 years to earn $1 million. However, things get a lot more promising the higher up the corporate ladder you climb. It's not unheard of for the managing director of these institutions to make over $1 million a year. On average, hedge fund managers make low six figures, but the managers of the most popular hedge funds make between $600 million. And the top 3 earn over $1 billion a year. You'd basically have to be the Michael Jordan of hedge fund management to get to those superstar levels. Speaking of Michael Jordan, he's in our next category: being famous. It's a pretty good bet that anyone you see on TV is a millionaire. Whether they be actors, producers, hosts, musicians, athletes, or reality stars, when you provide entertainment for millions of people, you can make millions of dollars. Of course, not everybody is a top-level entertainer. Getting to that point takes a mixture of skill and good luck. The top athletes in the world make over $100 million every year between their salary and further endorsements. However, the real money in entertainment doesn't necessarily come from the job itself, but the side deals, investments, and endorsements you have access to. Leonardo DiCaprio famously turned down $20 million for his role in Inception. He instead worked for as little money that the guild would allow, instead opting for a percentage of the film's profits. This made him $50 million, which is 150% higher than if he just took the salary. If you find yourself dreaming of stardom, make sure you use your influence to your advantage. George Foreman endorsed the very famous Foreman grill, which made him far more money than boxing ever did. Actor George Clooney is the highest paid actor of 2019, but he didn't make his money from acting. He made his money from selling his tequila brand, Casamigos, for $1 billion. Even pop singer Justin Bieber made the cover of Forbes. It wasn't because of his music, but his investments. When he was just 15, he invested in Spotify, and then got his ravenous fans to start using the popular app. This is one of the reasons why he's worth $250 million. Don't forget about the Kardashians, who didn't get rich by being famous alone. Instead, they used their fame to launch businesses, including Kylie Jenner's company, Kylie Cosmetics, that's worth $800 million. Legal. The legal profession is famously high-earning and a goal for many young bookworms with dollar signs in their eyes. If you're looking for a career in law, you'll want to know which type of lawyer to be. The highest paid lawyers are patent attorneys and intellectual property lawyers, who are responsible for enforcing copyright and patents. They each make salaries of around $180,000 a year. Trial lawyers and tax attorneys make around $130,000 a year, and corporate lawyers make around $150K a year. Corporate lawyers can usually earn about $200K a year. Specifically, you'll want to focus on mergers and acquisitions if you're going the corporate route. If you don't choose any of these, you can still make a bundle as a lawyer. Most big lawsuits mean big payouts for the lawyers on the winning side. It's not uncommon for a lawyer to get a single payout on a single case of over $1 million. Software. For many people, technology is the no-brainer career path for a large salary. But tech workers make far less than you think. A software developer only makes $150 a year, and cybersecurity only make $100K a year. In general, technology developers are undervalued and overworked. The money that technology companies are famous for doesn't go to the developers working jobs, but from independent innovators and entrepreneurs who found their own company and own all their own patents. If you're going to get into tech and you want to make $1 million doing it, it's not enough to simply get a job. You need to be the one running the company and then sell that company. Engineering and design. Engineers and designers have the same problems that software developers have. When they work salaried positions, getting above $120K a year is incredibly difficult. The highest paid engineers are those working in petroleum, gasoline and oil. However, we predict that this industry will take a swing within the next 20 years as social and political pressure moves us towards renewable energy. Architects fit into this category, and the highest paid are enterprise architects who work for giant companies with unique needs. Overall, engineering and design jobs are most lucrative when you're the one who has founded the company, and you're the one who owns the patents to any unique innovations that it comes up with. Otherwise, it's going to be a long 10 years until you make your million. Sales. In any company, aside from top-tier management, the highest potential income goes to the salespeople. That's because it's a high-risk position, oftentimes with no guaranteed salary other than what you made on commission. Real estate sales can be lucrative, and when we get into luxury properties, the commission is ridiculously high. Real estate salespeople can regularly pull in as much as $250,000 a year. Pharmaceutical sales can make $200K a year, and software sales can make $150K a year. An indirect form of sales is marketing, which pays out $150K for high-level marketing managers, with $250K a year for the owners of the companies that service huge brands like Coke or Pepsi. That being said, it's still not quite as impressive as you think, still taking 5 to 10 years to make $1 million if you saved every penny. Entrepreneurship. So perhaps you want to stake it out on your own and make something from nothing. If you feel like entrepreneurship is your fast ticket to a great paycheck, you should remember that it's a mixed bag. The average business owner makes $75K a year, which is a decent living, but it would take 13 years of saving to reach $1 million. Remember that half of the entrepreneurs are making far less than that. The biggest and most successful entrepreneurs can make quite a lot, but the road to millions might take longer than any of the other jobs on the list. Yes, you work for yourself, but don't think that entrepreneurship is wealth generation on easy mode. It'll be the hardest thing that you ever do. Miscellaneous. There are other professions that don't really fit anywhere else on the list, but are worth noting. Pilots can earn $200 to $300 an hour, depending on how experienced they are. Air traffic controllers, surprisingly, make $130K a year, and it might be the easiest thing on the entire list to get started with. In fact, there are tons of other jobs that pay north of $100K, but in reality, these won't make you a millionaire. Investments. As it turns out, the best form of wealth generation is a two-step process. You have to 1. Have a high-paying job. 2. Use that job salary to jumpstart something on the side. What are we talking about? Let's give you an example. If you worked a job that paid $125K a year and you spend only $40K on living expenses, you'll be able to save $85,000 every year. At that rate, it would take you 12 years to save $1 million. However, letting money sit around is a waste of potential. $85,000 in the bank stays $85,000 forever. However, instead of letting the money sit around, you can actively grow it by buying a company that makes $50,000 a year in profits. You can buy one of these every single year. At the end of the same 12-year period, instead of $1 million, you'll have made $3,900,000, and you'd make another $600,000 every year going forward. Jobs are good catalysts, but the real money comes from investments. If you want to learn more about investments, business, and the best ways to get $1 million, subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when we release something new.